Welcome back to Ottawa Now. I'm Graham Richardson sitting in for Evan Solomon on this Tuesday. North Korea continues to concern not only its neighbors, South Korea, obviously Japan and the United States, but large parts of the world. What has changed? Is this simply posturing, or have the missile tests pushed things to a new, very, very concerning level? Joining us now to speak about this is Elliot Tepper. He is with the Norman Patterson School of International Affairs at Carleton University. Thanks for being here, Elliot. Appreciate it.
Oh, I'd like to say it's a pleasure being with you, but we're talking about nuclear Armageddon.
This is not just posturing. Tell us, if people have not been paying attention, why should they?
We've had a development this afternoon, really. As we know, North Korea has increased the frequency and the accuracy and the explosive power of its ICBM and nuclear arsenals. So they are presently already a nuclear-capable nuclear weapon state. What has been lacking is a refined delivery mechanism that could reach and threaten America, and of course that means Canada. What we heard today is that, according to a U.S. agency, the Defense Intelligence Agency, they now estimate that a threshold has been crossed. Miniaturization of a nuclear warhead that can be put onto an ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile, has been achieved. And another agency has said that North Korea may have as many as 60 nuclear weapons. This is the question for me. Is this a game changer? Have we now entered a new sphere of our concern, and indeed the world's concern, about what's going on in North Korea?
We knew that they could fire missiles at a significant distance. We did not know, we always hear, but can they put a nuclear warhead on it? That's the big challenge. And the answer, apparently, as of today, is yes.
Yes, that's according to one very well-informed estimate. There may well be others. But the point is that we know, and this is a point I've been trying to make for years now, that even if today's report turns out not to be correct, there's been a lot of skepticism over the years. Really you shouldn't worry because the weapon didn't go as far, it was a dud, et cetera, et cetera. They keep right on going, Graham, and they get better and better, and they've recently accelerated the pace, but also the success rate of their testing. So what may possibly be our situation today is a very narrowing window, if there's going to be any action possible whatsoever, to stop North Korea from being a fully capable nuclear weapon state. There is, even if they have miniaturized, even if this is correct, they have, and we know they have an ICBM, they still have to successfully allow it to go up and then re-enter the atmosphere without burning up as it comes down. That's another step for them. But that would be the next one. Not
like firing a gun, but they've certainly shown progression that people should pay attention to, obviously, now.
Well, it's entirely possible this will be viewed as an accurate report and that it is a game changer in the minds of those who are following all this. That includes China, of course, but it also, first and foremost, includes the Trump administration. So the Trump administration was bequeathed this message by President Obama as he left the office. He leaned over and said to the incoming president, your number one security concern is North Korea, and now this is not a can that can be kicked down the road any further if today's report is correct. It's now on the table for the current regime, that is the current administration in Washington.
Where is China on this? We've heard the president say they're not doing enough, they're not getting tough enough. Take the rhetoric out of it, and practically speaking, cutting off coal exports, cutting off, those economic sanctions that were imposed recently.
Yes.
Is China being truthful? Are they being rigorous enough on those measures, and will they make a difference? Will they get the attention of North Korea?
The Chinese rhetoric in the last week or so has been different from in the past. It has been much tougher on North Korea, while also at the same time saying, really, this is a problem for everybody, starting with the United States. But also Russia joined them in this same kind of rhetoric. They are now saying not only are we going to join everyone else, as they've done in the past, whenever there's been a nuclear test by North Korea, in terms of UN sanctions, we're going to join in. They're now saying this time we're actually going to enforce them. And the United States has said we're going to watch that to be sure that you do. So there has been a change of tone. What is totally unclear is, has there been a change in the reckoning of Canada of China's national interest? In their mind, apparently, it has been, no matter what happens in North Korea, better to have North Korea there as a buffer state and perhaps a useful chip in international relations, a proxy. Or is it now in their own interest, in their self-interest, to actually do something? And if so, what actually would they do and could they do? These latest sanctions still permit oil. Energy is really the lifeline for the North. That could be affected. Would Russia step in quietly and fill that, or even Iran or others? So right now we have a situation where North Korea is saying we will pay any cost economically, but we will get a nuclear deterrent. But to everybody else, it's a threat.
Right. In the past, China has thought we'll use the North Korean issue on the international stage and bargaining, and it's in our interest to have them be this rogue state. Maybe that has changed given developments, but we don't know.
I doubt it.
Right.
But it's possible they are being far more thoughtful today because of the possibility that America and its allies, which would include us, might actually react militarily and start something that could go in any direction. And the American president told Lindsey Graham, he said this to my face, that if there are going to be thousands dying, it's better that they die over there than over here. Yeah. This is horrible news, to quote Secretary of Defense Mattis, horrible news for Korea and, of course, for Japan as well. Those are both Canadian partners and allies.
I want to ask you briefly about President Trump. He has a clear reputation, and I'm not being partisan here or trying to attack him. These are complicated issues. He is not the most measured president and thoughtful person. I think it's been clear that he can be erratic. Is there any concern internationally about that?
I think there's a lot of concern, and beyond that, he's a president who's under pressure, losing support at home, even from core supporters. So the temptation to lash out and, have a foreign war and everybody rally around the flag is always there for an American president. And here's the North Koreans saying, well, here's an opportunity, go for it. We are in a very perilous situation, far more than we were even a month or two ago. There's been a ratcheting up of the nuclear tensions around the world. India and China are backing into a conflict in Bhutan. There's always Pakistan and India. So my concern, and I think it's a general concern for Canadians, is that in the kind of world we live in, are we going to return to an era of real concern over nuclear war? Even if we don't have a nuclear war, remember that South Korea is where Canada has fought and lost troops. South Korea is an ally. Anything that happens right now could trigger an event that could spiral in who knows what direction. So we are in perilous times. I think the possibility is that America is making all these signals while at the same time quietly, I'm going on hope here,
right,
that we are really ready to talk. All of this is about creating back-channel contacts, and we are going to be leading toward a negotiation once we've established in everybody's mind how serious the U.S. takes this situation. So we may be in a pre-negotiation maneuvering situation, but that's based on a lot of hope and not a lot of signs of it.
Well, let's hope that the temperature goes down, and Indeed. We always appreciate your perspective. Elliot Tepper from Carleton University. Thanks so much for being with us this afternoon. Appreciate it.
Graham.
That is Elliot Tepper from Carleton. Boy, watch North Korea. It's not just sort of state news anchors spewing propaganda and parades with big missiles. This is getting very, very serious.